Give us a minute. Thank you, Toby. Good afternoon. This is the meeting of the Joint Public Safety Committee. Today is February 27th. The current time is 1:07. First item of business is to review and approve the minutes of February the 13th meeting. If there are no additional corrections to the minutes, we entertain a motion to approve as written.
A motion to approve.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Detective Feist, can you call up the first item for us, please?
First item will be Speedway 1617 Philly Boulevard, Bradley.
Okay, can you come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, please?
Good afternoon. First name is Brad, last name is Braun, representative of Speedway for 1617 on Finley Boulevard.
Okay, and that's a new establishment on.
Correct,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
All righty. Detective Pierce, I know there has not been any incidents at this location because it's not open, but can you state that for the record?
I'm a little younger than Detective Pitts, but Detective Fikes.
Detective Fikes, I'm sorry.
No incidents.
Okay,
We had some lawn things, but we took care of that too.
Mr. Lowe, does the applicant meet zoning?
Property is zone C2 General Commercial District, and it does meet zoning.
Ms. Brown, are they in good standing with taxes and revenue?
Yes, this is a new application and they are in good standing.
All right, the applicant presented to the Pacifico Finley neighborhood on January the 8th. 26 were in attendance, no opposition, but 11 supported. Committee member, do you have any questions for the applicant?
I just had one. I was just curious what happened to the other 15 people. Did they not vote at all?
They didn't vote.
They didn't vote at all? Oh, okay. Got you. No further questions.
Only because those was non-residents.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah, that's all.
All right, we'll entertain a motion.
I move for approval.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that item will be sent to the full council, city council for a vote, and my staff will be in touch with you to let you know what day it'll go for the
Sounds
vote.
great. Appreciate it, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank
All right.
you. Detective Fikes, can you call up the second item for us, please?
Madam Chair, the second will be Councilman Automotive Recycling, 1849 Rufford Road, Birmingham, Alabama, 35210.
Okay, is the applicant here? State your name and address for the record, please.
James Councilman, 1849 Ruffner Road.
All right. All right, Mr. Lowe, does the applicant meet zoning?
Per ZBA 2010, case number 75, the legal nonconforming use is allowed, so they do meet zoning.
Okay, Detective Feist, are any incidents at this location?
No incidents, Madam Chair.
All right, Ms. Brown, is the applicant in good standing with taxes and revenue?
This is a new business. They can now apply for their license.
Okay, all right, thank you. Counselor Moore, do you have questions for the applicant?
No, ma'am, Madam Chair. I move for approval.
All right, second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that item passes, and we will send it to the full council for a vote, and my staff will be in touch with you to let you know what day. Thank you. All righty. The next item is Common Ground, the HEAT program, and that is Judge Sparks and his team. Judge? How you doing, sir?
How are you, Council?
I'm good, sir. You got a PowerPoint presentation for us, or you just
We
have?
do.
Okay,
We do. It's already loaded in the back.
thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, and we have a copy for all of you. Good afternoon. My name is Andre Sparks, and I have the honor of serving as a presiding judge for the city of Birmingham. And I'm happy to come here today and talk about a part of the conflict resolution strategy the city has. The part that I want to talk to you about today is the program strategy we call Common Ground. I want to, if you will, allow us, Counselor, to detail where we are now, the progress that's been made with the funds appropriated by this council. And I'd also like to introduce you to various members of the team that have been amassed. I think you particularly will enjoy meeting all of these people. who are here. If you will allow me, counsel, as I go through this, I got two team members. One, Mr. McKenna Holloway, who serves as a program administrator. He's also court administrator at the City of Birmingham's Municipal Court. And then, of course, Ms. Miranda Lockett, who's our program manager for Common Ground. She serves as the director of behavioral services at the City of Birmingham's Municipal Court. They're going to be helping me remember stuff as we move along because there's a lot going on here. The good news I want to tell you this afternoon is Common Ground is going well. It's going well, and we have grown by leaps and bounds since we started. The arena I think you're most concerned about is the school system, but I do need to remind you that Common Ground as a strategy is not only in the Birmingham public school systems, but it also works from municipal court. We also support and service the other courts in the Jefferson County area, particularly the adult drug court downtown. They send their individuals to our program and they have to complete it. At its essence, it's a 26-week program. And that's for adults and kids. It's a long program. But on the other side of that, we've had nothing but success. As I get started, I want to introduce members of the City of Birmingham staff who are here. I'd like for all of our team members who are here from municipal court and other departments, if they would please stand. Yes. Most of these members are members of the municipal court staff. And I will say this, we're able to operate, and it's a cost savings to us because they're pulling extra duty in this program. We also have members of DYS. Galvin Billups and his team are absolute partners, and that's why I said his name right then, because he was coming through the door. And so full partners in this, we depend on them and their support. And of course, Mr. Billups and the Department of Youth Services manage the funds that have been allocated through that division. I also want to introduce what I call the secret sauce in the program. The secret sauce in the program for Common Ground are our community partners, community coaches, and I would just like for them, the ones who've taken their time to come here this afternoon, to stand so you can see the ones who came today. All the coaches. These are just some of the coaches that have been assigned to the various schools. We also have support from the Birmingham City School System. Without that support, it wouldn't be possible. And so I want to publicly thank Dr. Sullivan, Dr. Hines, and Dr. Willis for their unwavering support. From the very moment that we started with this program, they have opened every possible door for the school system, and that has emanated throughout the system. Every time we call a school, they respond to us, and that has been invaluable. So we'd like to thank publicly all the school staffs in all Birmingham public schools, because we're in every school. We want to thank all the principals and counselors and front office staff, and the student support services group, as well as the transportation group that's been really, really valuable lately. Madam Chair, you know that a program of this nature, and you of course know collaboration is the essence of making these type programs work. And so I just want to call some of the announce some of the collaborations we've had to establish in order for it to be successful. We have partnerships with other city departments, particularly Parks and Recreation. In fact, we'll start doing a component of the Common Ground program in the safe havens this summer. We have collaboration with UAB Adolescent Medicine. They are supporting us in a number of ways. Particularly last week, we took 125 girls in the program on a lock-in at East Pinson Valley. UAB was a full partner in that. This weekend, this Friday, we're looking forward to having the same number of young men who will be in a lock-in at East Pinson Valley, and UAB, of course, will be there in full partnership with that. Girls, Inc., we're also doing a part of their curriculum. Cristo Rey, Holy Family Cristo Rey, supporting them in the same way. HABD, last summer we did a part of their the Common Summers curriculum was part of their summer program. It will be again this summer, and so we're excited about that. Share Life, the nonprofit corporation we've used, not-for-profit, has been extremely supportive in us getting our curriculum for elementary schools established. We've created one. It's called Excel. We're in pilot form right now in 2 schools. You'll see this in our presentation. Those 2, the pilot is going extremely well. We've been there all year. We anticipate, based on this pilot, rolling the conflict resolution program out to the rest of the elementary schools in Birmingham Public Schools this year. And so 4th and 5th graders are in it now, and that will be across the district starting in August with the program. The numbers in that have been great. Sandpiper Group has come on board, and this is something I wanna really bring home. We call the program HEAT for a long time. HEAT is a curriculum. HEAT is the curriculum we have used. We started calling it HEAT, but we want to use different terminology now, and you'll see why in a moment. We want to, across the board, refer to the program as a Common Ground program, because we are developing our own curriculum. And so we will no longer utilize the HEAT curriculum moving forward when we finish the new curriculum. And that's important because HEAT is a copyrighted curriculum. So will our curriculum be copyrighted. And what you'll love about it is that the organizers of the program, or the drafters of the program that we have, are going to ensure that the new curriculum we have meets Alabama school regulations, social studies requirements. That's crucial to us, because then we can eventually the kids can get credit from going through the program. Not only can they get credit, we don't have to worry about stepping into academic time, because it can be a part of their academic studies. But not only will we, once created, have that ability to roll that out to them, it'll also include 2 factors: social, emotional intelligence will be included in it. And you'll love this, it's also gonna include civil rights history throughout the entire curriculum. The curriculum will be technology-driven, technology-based. Each of the 26 components will have its own video vignette. And we're grateful for the grant that we just received that's going to help us create this curriculum and update our Excel curriculum. Penny Foundation, Birmingham Museum of Art, and the Pinwheel Group are other supporters of this program. Before I get into the PowerPoint, I hope you'll indulge me as I allow a couple of our team members to come in and tell you. I kind of wanted to say the numbers for the dessert, if you will. I think they'll be just that sweet. But if you'll allow us to call someone up from the Birmingham Public School System who can come in and talk to us. Yeah, we have Dr. Stephanie Parker, who is one of our favorite supporters. We're going to ask her to come up with some comments. Dr. Parker, come on. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am pleased to be here. When Mrs. Lockett asked me to come and speak, I said, of course, because we love Common Ground. I am one of the assistant principals at Huffman Academy out on the eastern side of town, and we were approached early on in the school year about Common Ground coming, and we were very excited because, as you all know, COVID hit hard. It hit everyone hard, adults and our students. We are finding students are presenting challenges that in my 27 years of teaching I had not seen before. So when they came and presented their proposal to us and said that they were going to work with us, we were very excited. And still today, we are excited that they are in the building. One of the things that we are most excited about is, in addition to the curriculum, the way that the coaches work with the children and the way that they have built relationships with our students. They have gotten to know our students, gotten to know some of their issues, gotten to know their families. And a lot of times our students just don't have that family support from home. And so this additional layer of support, especially from some of our male coaches, when our students don't have that male figure at home, we have just loved. So I knew that the program was working. The kids love it, but the telltale sign for me was for our, around Christmas time when we were about to get out of school and it was time for us to have our holiday parties. And so I reached out and let them know that on one of the days that they were scheduled to come, our students were going to be having their holiday parties, and that we would just cancel that date, which they said was fine. And when I tell you, droves of students start going to those classrooms, still expecting to go to Common Ground that day, even though they were going to have their holiday parties, they still wanted to go to Common Ground. So I said, okay, yeah, y'all are working. So we love anything they ask us. We have provided. The only thing we've had to provide really is the students and the space for them. The curriculum, they come, they bring all of their supplies. We have just enjoyed having them at our school. Thank you.
We thank Dr. Parker for her support. We also have Dr. Trina Hall here. She just came to support. Mr. Eric Gardner, also from the school system, has come to support us. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. I'm Eric Gardner. I'm assistant principal at Hudson Cave School on the north side of Birmingham. So you know where we are. You know where our location is. Our coaches, they are phenomenal. They've done a great job building relationships with the children. They've also incorporated the strategies that help these kids learn how to make better decisions in life, not just in the classroom. Those decisions meaning conflict resolution, and anger management, and coping skills. Those kids, the success rate that we got right now for Hudson is the students who were in my program last year, not one of them was suspended this school year. Not one. Not one of them is suspended this school year, so we decided to bring the girls in this year. And it's a little bit more challenging with the young ladies. But that success story to me was when they got on the bus, getting ready to go to the program with all the lock-in. They always said, bye, Ms. Gardner. And I promise we're going to behave. That's what they said. So that was enough for me. The program is awesome. Whatever you guys can do to continue the funding for this program, it is so needed in North Birmingham. Keep it going. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Gardner.
Mr. Archie Hayes is here as well. Wilson, I'm sorry.
No problem. I answer to anything. Good evening, everyone. I'm Assistant Principal Wilson from over at Hayes Cave School. So I was asked to just come in and say a few things about Common Ground, and a lot of things have been said already, and I concur with my colleagues. It's a great program. Hayes K-8, if you aren't familiar with it, is situated right between Kingston and Avondale. It's the students that we serve, they go through tough situations every day. Councilman Moore, he knows, he's worked right there hand in hand with me for many years. The program is great because our students, they don't easily let down their walls. They don't easily trust people. But for some reason, when these mentors come to my school, they run to them. I tell my teacher, wait now, they just met these people. How are they running to them? And y'all are here every single day. I try to shame them a little bit, but I know it's because they see someone new, someone that's not trying to be on them so tough all the time. And really, they have been patient, they've been kind, and the things that they do at my school every day, I just can't say enough about it. So whatever you can do, please continue this program. And as I leave, I just think about the African proverb that says that if a child isn't embraced by the village, what's going to happen? They'll burn it down to feel the warmth. These people are embracing our children. Let's do what we can do, arm in arm, hand in hand. Let's keep it going. Thank you.
All right.
We have two parents with us, and I'd like to invite Ms. Stephanie King, Mr. Corey Lawrence to come up if they would.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I thank you all for the opportunity to be able to come and talk on the behalf of our son. I am a product of Birmingham City Schools, so when my son got in the car, he was just yapping, "Mom, we did this," and I mean all the way home. I had never seen him that excited coming from school, and he was just telling me everything about the meeting. In a previous Zoom call, I talked about even when I was in Birmingham City, how we did Birmingham After Dark and with Junior Achievement. I still remember those things that we learned. So I'm excited, even with my son being a part of a group, to learn the right way with other professionals and coaches. I would rather them learn from them than to learn from the streets or learn stuff the wrong way in school. So that was one of the things that I told Ms. Miranda. And then when I was on the Zoom call and I saw the different, Judge Sparks and everybody else, I was excited. So I am 100% hoping that y'all do the funding that they're needed, because this is needed with the kids. I also seen a difference in my son, just everyday life, doing things even at home. Grades went up, so I don't know if they even discussed grades. He was already doing good, but he's a straight A student as of the last progress report, and I have not seen it in a minute. So I know it is well worth it. I will be supporting as much as I can. You want to say anything? Good.
Well, main thing, like I say, our son has improved greatly, and I say it takes a village, because I reach out, I do construction and everything, so I'm always reaching out to younger kids and everything, and just to have another program where they can see a different face and learn a different point of view, it's definitely needed.
Right, thank you.
Madam Chair, as we queue up the PowerPoint that we have, I think there's a video that starts it. We've been increasing our discussions with the young folk about their ability to talk to officials. And I think one of the videos they created at Hayes is to Councilor O'Quinn, I believe. So if we can show it. As they prepare to bring that up, I want to tell you that what we've seen from the increase in the participation by our coaches is a decrease in the big factors in the school. We've seen a decrease in absenteeism by these students. We've seen a decrease in disciplinary action by these students, and we've seen an increase in their ability, because they're not in those problems. These kids who were at risk by the definition of the school are now participating in activities that they probably would have not been involved in. So we're taking at-risk kids to tour the University of Alabama, and so they can consider going to college, and I'm sure there'll be others there. We're taking kids to see the Watsons go to Birmingham. These are kids who might not have otherwise been able to see those things because they might have been in a disciplinary posture. And so because of that, their grades are changing. Their engagement is different. The absence of these negative things means we have space to put positive things in their space. And that's what these coaches are freeing up the academic, the leaders of the academics to do. And so we got that video. Yep.
We all heard. We all heard. We all heard. Coming from the common ground. And we represent college. We were talking about our community and our leaders. Our mayor is Brandon Woodson, and our district. Is J.C. Moore. We only have one.
We're going to keep it moving for you. We're going to make sure I don't know what's going on with it. But you already know what our problem was, why we created this program. I will remind you that the Common Ground program consists of a number of components. One is we call HEAT. That's the program for adult males and adolescent males. And then we have HER for adolescent and adult females. And then we've got Excel, which is curriculum for elementary school children. There's a universe, if we could, there's a universe of programs created by your funding that we call the Common Ground Universe. We implemented it to deliver 25 weeks of instruction. We start out scientifically with a pre-assessment and a post-assessment to make sure that everyone understands the progress being made. The program allows for participants and parents in BCS to be fully engaged. And I should stop right here and tell you that the component that has not been on the table but is about to start is the parenting component. That's been something we've been really striving to get involved in. And so we have a meeting with our parent partners next week, March the 11th. We have a meeting with the start of that aspect of it. These coaches go into the schools twice a week for 60 to 90 minutes at a time, twice a week. They are fully engaged during that time. They're dedicated staff. They go to the same school each time. Every now and then we might have to have a floater, and so that means we have to have a number of coaches trained and certified. Right now, we've been able to train almost 200 coaches to go into the program. As we bring the elementary school teams online, we're going to have to increase that by another 100 or 150 coaches. And so there's always space for members of the community to come on board and be a part of the program. We provide, of course, through your generosity and the funding, the program materials, and we have the mechanisms in place to track their progress. But in addition to the lessons they're learning, they're now seeing mentors in the community, people doing things that they may want to do. They're seeing jobs that they hadn't heard of before. At the lock-in week before last, they had the ability to engage the district attorney of Jefferson County and just sit and have a conversation with him. They'll have that same opportunity this week. And he was, if you've never heard Danny talk, he was very blunt with them, as well he should have been, and they received him. At each school, we leave it up to the school to identify the young folk who need to be in the program. But what we are doing is learning a little bit, as we should, how to identify the risk factors that would put kids in the program. It's not always kids who get disciplinary action. Those children belong in the program, but we also have some children who are isolated, some children who have some social issues who might benefit from the program. And it's designed so that they can come in as well. The schools have been great in giving us isolated space so that we can have candid conversations, and we get continuous attendance updates for the kids. And so I want to talk to you about some of the trends. We want to go back to spring semester of 2023 and tell you what we had then. The trends then, we saw suspensions, fights, and disciplinary actions, and absences that seemed to be pretty high at that point. At the time, we had approximately 338 students in the program. Of those 338 students in the program, 77% completed in the spring of 2023. They completed the entire 26 weeks. 23% of them did not complete. If you're following me on this outline, I'm sorry, I'm skipping. I'm trying to make sure I don't go through every single slide for you, all right? And so 23% of them did not complete. We don't attribute that to them. We attribute that to us trying to figure out exactly who we're dealing with. We think we can get that completion rate higher. The fall semester 2023 is when things really heated up for us. And the trends in that fall semester, as you can see in every metric, all of those categories that I talked about, the fights, suspensions, disciplinary actions, and absences, dropped. And we came and we reported that to you the last time we came in. And so we thought we need to make sure that what we're doing is not an anomaly and that there's consistent decline in these negative behaviors. And so that takes us into the fall semester of 2023, which of course was the beginning of this academic school year. We came into the school year with a total of, this is a big number, 584 students in the program. 584 students. We had 262 girls in the 6th grade through the 12th grade. We have 263 boys, 6th grade through 12th grade. And we had 29 students in the 4th and 5th grade in our pilot for elementary school, and we had 30 students at in our Excel Girls program. So that's a lot of children that we're dealing with. Now, from those numbers, we're still dealing with the same metrics: fights, suspensions, disciplinary actions, and absences. The good news is, in September of 2023, the fights that were going on in school, just based on the numbers that we were given, there were approximately, of the girls in Common Ground, 11 fights were reported. By December, that number had dropped to 5. This is a month. Suspension, September 2023, and there were 34 suspensions in that group, 262 girls. By December, that number had dropped to 15. 15. Something's happening. Disciplinary actions in September. The schools reported 76 disciplinary actions in September. By December, we're talking about 40, only 40. And so we're seeing a huge drop in absences. This is, of course, something that's gotten all our attention. Of the young folk who are in Common Ground, they had about 315 kids who were absent during that month. During the month of December, there was 134. Significant drop by simply engaging them. And the trend was the same way. Now, that was girls. That was girls. All right, the graphs in there show you how they've fallen. There was a 55% decrease in fights, 56% decrease in suspension, 47% decrease in disciplinary action, and a 57% decrease in absences. That's in the first semester of this school year. For the boys, the trend was the same. They were having some trouble at the beginning of the year. 25 fights were reported in September. That was down to 4 in December. 4 fights reported. 30 in suspensions, there were 50. That was down to 20. Disciplinary actions were 107. That was down to 47. Now, we're talking about kids who are at risk, put in this program. They were having this kind of involvement with the front office. All of these numbers are cut in half. This is less time that the administrators and teachers have to spend dealing with them from a disciplinary point of view, and now they can deal with them from an academic point of view only. There were 452 absences in September, and by December, that was down to 197. 197 absences. And so, by the numbers, there's an 84% decrease in fights, 60% decrease in suspensions, 56% decrease in disciplinary action, and a 56% decrease in absences from September to December of last year. We think by any account, that's a success. That's trending in the right direction. That's something we want to keep up, and I think that's why we're hearing from these teachers and these administrators that the program is going along well. The Excel pilot that we have at Huffman Academy and Wylam Elementary is following the same trends. They have 59 boys and girls. 59 boys and girls. Of those 59, they were averaging 8 fights in September. That's down to 3 in December. There were 5 suspensions, down to 2. Disciplinary actions were 36 in September, and down to 5 in December. Absences were 78 of those 59 in September, and by December there were only 19 absences. Something has engaged them and made them want to be in that place, and we believe our only goal is to support the academic progress that they're making, and we think, Madam Chair and members of the council, that this is helping. We have a number of activities that are still on board. I just told you about the lock-in for the boys. But we also are going to create something that's going to be kind of unique, we think, for the city school system. We're going to take the girls in transition in the program. When I say in transition, I mean transitioning from high school, from middle school to high school, from elementary school to middle school, those girls and boys in transition. And we're going to take them on a retreat, an overnight retreat, to prepare them for that period of transition. We're only going to focus on the issues associated with that transition, and they're excited about it, about going on that trip. And it's going to be in the next few weeks that we'll take them. One last thing, we try to engage them and have fun. And Councilor Moore, you might appreciate this. We had a contest throughout all the cohorts to create a theme song for Common Ground. The name of the contest was Got Bars. Got Bars. All right. And I'm proud to announce that the winning school was the group from Bush Hill STEM Academy. They came up with a song that they recorded they have a mini studio at Bush Hills, and they recorded the song, which is now being mixed because we took them to a real studio, and they have recorded the song in a real studio, and it is being mixed and will be mastered by a real producer. The name of the song is Wait. Wait. And I got a copy of it, but I'm not going to play it for you right now. I don't want to steal their thunder. But all I can say is, in my 1980s way, it's fire. Yeah, it's pretty live. I think everybody is going to rally around it. The boys, and I want to say this publicly for all those involved, the boys wrote the song, and they're the ones who were rapping on it the first time. But we thought in a spirit of fairness that we would bring the girls from Bush Hills in as well. And so they came in, and the girls will be on the tracks as well. And so the producer has been able to integrate the boys and the girls on the track. And so when you hear it, it really will be Common Ground on their program. It'll be good. And I can't wait to hear you, see you up there jamming with them. I know you'll be dancing to this one because the beat is fire. All right. Okay, that's all we got right now. I think that's all we have from a presentation standpoint. And certainly want to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Judge. You pretty much, I had some stuff wrote down, but you covered it. One of the things that I was going to ask you and some of the administrators that are here from the school system, about the fights, the suspension, the disciplinary actions, and I can clearly see from your presentation that has reduced significantly. And I know that you and I, we've had, a lot of conversation around collective partnership and moving around in this space. And, we talked about, silo working. That's just not going to work. And so we really want to bring on, some more partners, in this violent reduction ecosystem. We have the Offender Alumni Association. We trained about 38 credible messengers, which we're in the interview process. That's going to be a lead messenger. It's going to be 4 full-time messengers. And Judge, you had an opportunity to see Mr. Clinton Lacey when he was here presenting that transformative piece. And so really want to, I know we have some administrators here from the school system to be very receptive to Credible Messenger because it is a transformative, program that works with, juveniles and people that are, in school. So you have Restore. So all of these components, coming together and, good to see these young people really, being able to see who they really can be, because we know that the United States has the highest incarceration rate in the nation. Yes. So you have a government that's trying to be a 2 mega prisons. So they have investors, and somebody has to be paid back. And so we want to show them, the state of Alabama that, we're not who you see. Our kids are, our future. Anything we can do to reduce gun violence. I know Dr. Clark has done a lot of work with the peacemakers. I see Pastor Mann, any clergy people, Bishop Moore is here. And so it's going to take all of us. This is not about, we losing too many young people and too many people in the street. So, as adults, I say we gotta put ego, we gotta work together collectively, together to, get to, as the judge say, the common ground. And so, Judge, I'm excited that you have, y'all are building your own curriculum, really want to be engaged. Is how do we get more people, involved? Because I think people want to be involved.
Madam Chair, can you indulge me one moment? There's one principal, or assistant principal of a school who's out sick today.
Okay.
She was coming to talk to you today. She couldn't make it. She took the time on her sick bed to pen a letter that Miranda's going to read to you about this. I'll invest. Yeah, Miranda.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good evening, Ms. O'Neill. Thanks so much for extending the invitation for us to come and speak about the impact that the Common Ground program has had on our scholars at BHSCA. Unfortunately, I am out due to illness, and Dr. Phillips has a mandatory training tomorrow, so we will not be able to attend. I would like to put in writing the benefit of the program. I hope this will suffice. Comparing this year to previous year, our students are now more receptive to communication and guidance from the coaches of the HEAT program. Last year, we had to actively pursue the students to ensure their attendance at meetings. This year, the young men anticipate meeting with the coaches on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Due to the significant shift in conduct following encounters with coaches and good engagement with peers and adults, teachers at BHSA have begun suggesting additional scholars for the program. Despite being in the first year of the HER program, there has been a significant change in our young ladies. The counselors have diligently addressed several things with them to support their achievement in life. The young ladies are demonstrating increased self-respect, regard for their peers, and respect for adults compared to the previous year. There has been a significant reduction in physical and verbal conflicts. Attendance at our school has improved across both groups. They have healthy engagement in school. These are only a few benefits of the Common Ground program, but let's examine the data. The table below, and it's the table that's on the last slide of your PowerPoint. The table below shows the total number of days students in HEAT and HER were suspended out of school, received in-school intervention support, and were absent from school. The students are not just improving their behavior and attendance, but also making academic improvement. Both programs are highly popular among the BHSA students. Some scholars are already requesting to be considered for the program's next school year. I want to praise our counselors and Mr. Garfield for their excellent work. They consistently help the admin team with any concerns we may have, show unparalleled support, love, devotion, and patience to our scholars. We commend the City of Birmingham for acknowledging the need for existence and establishing a program to support the next generation. And this was written by Dr. Tiffany Stewart. She is an administrator at the Bush Hill STEAM Academy.
Thank you. We had an opportunity last year to take a group of students to Lobby Day during the legislative session from Bush Hill Academy. But Judge, I just really wanted to thank you and your team, and reach out to us. I want to come to the school. I want to know when it's going down, and so I can show up and support in any way I can, even with the lock-ins coming in, speaking. I can't say that I'm going to always be there, but I just want to make myself available to you all. And I guess Councilor Moore probably can attest to this as well, because I think he plays goes a lot to his schools. But, I think all of the counselors and, community people want, to be involved. And Judge, when you flesh out the curriculum, let us know so we can say, hey, Judge Sparks got this, this training going on, when we can get, more people. Because that's the thing that we try to push, building out this violence reduction plan is, we got to get more people. As you said, Judge, more people got to be involved.
I wish I could tell you, Counselor, that we went searching high and low and we found the magic that makes this happen, but it wasn't hidden. It's the same principles that we've always known, simply showing young people that you care about them, simply spending time with them and listening to them. These children don't show up unscathed at school. They come to school with a lot of issues. And when you have caring individuals from the community who are willing to give of their time and simply mentor them, then you can see a change in their behavior. And we're gonna keep doing that. That's all we did was put grown folk, adults, back in the school system to support children. It's not even complicated. And when you do that, when you show them that you care, they respond. They respond, and they respond in a positive way. And so we're happy that these people have decided, these coaches have decided to give of their time. Some of them are so dedicated, I can't even begin to tell the story of how much they do in these schools and how much they give. They take snacks to the schools for the kids out of their own pocket. They're doing things like that. They're showing up at these kids' basketball games. Some of these kids didn't even have anybody to show up.
That's right.
And support them and clap and cheer. And they can look out there and see their coaches. They got a whole new circle of people who care about them. And that's what being a coach is all about. And so if there are citizens who want to participate and be a part of this, we welcome you coming. And to you, to your statement about wanting to be informed, we got, I think, the greatest invention in the last 10 years, which is the QR code. It allows you to access all the social media accounts that we have for Birmingham Common Ground. And we have a Facebook account, we have TikTok account, we have YouTube, and we send the kids there to receive affirmation, positive messages about things that are going on. And so we've given a copy to you so that you can follow, like, or share them with everyone else and make sure that you're involved. And I also want to invite you and all the other counselors to the completion ceremony at the Boutwell Auditorium on April 3rd. You'll get more information. We'll bring all the kids in and celebrate all the great things they've done this year. You should know that each one of them, just like in the adult program, you came to the completion ceremony for the adults.
I heard some exciting
Yes.
stuff.
But the kids, all the young folk, each cohort, each group has to do its own completion ceremony program.
Okay.
They have to do a project. And so they're working on that. That's the last part of the curriculum. They have to do something for community. And they're working on that right now. Some of them are doing what we call legacy projects, which means they'll do one this year. The next group will come along and continue in that project, like build a community garden. But then others are doing something that is unique. I think we have one group that's working with a veterans group. Now, these kids are engaged in things they wouldn't have even considered, and they're enjoying doing it. And so please come out and support them. And well, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't come up here and say, we need the funding to continue.
Judge, I just got one more quick question. I'm gonna toss it over to Councilor Moore. I know, Mr. Billups, I know that the DYS and jobs are coming. So how would some of these kids from Common Ground benefit, or some of the, kids that don't get these opportunities, to apply, for these jobs? How will you make that available, to those who often don't get opportunity at this chance?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'm Galvin Bill, serving as Department Director for the Department of Youth Services, City of Birmingham. And to your question, Judge and I have been talking about that one for a few months now in design. So it's really about intentionality, making sure that this word gets through to the hands of these coaches and that they help coach these young people, be letters of recommendation, so that some of these young people can have that opportunity. But then we invite the public also to just do the same thing, to make sure they follow along aside of Birmingham Common Ground and DYS, so that we can get this information out to the masses at large.
Okay.
And then we share it. We share it any way we possibly can, because we want these young people to take advantage of the job resources that the city has.
Okay, and any help that we can be, if you got a flyer, I'd be glad to, share it out, put it out there.
Yes,
church, everywhere we go, to make sure. But I'm gonna give Councilor Moore, yield the floor to Councilor Moore, because I know he has some burning questions.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First thing first, it sounds like we need to invest in us a studio over at Hudson so we can make sure we get a song made and we can win the challenge next time, right?
Sound like a good challenge to me.
Nah, I just want to say thank you to each and every person that's connected to this program and that's a part of, transforming the lives of these young people. Thank you. obviously, you know, it's not easy sometimes trying to break through that barrier and allow them to, you know, really let you in. But my God, isn't it rewarding though, right?
Yes, sir.
And I think that, you know, the work that you all are doing, the time and patience that you are putting into these young people, you know, it's invaluable. Like you can't really put a price on it. You said it in your last statements that, you know, it's really not nothing special that we're doing. We just moving off principles. And that's one of the things that I was just gonna state is that it's not a aha moment, right? Like the things that our young people are lacking are, you know, caring adults. And sometimes, you know, mama at home and daddy at home can't do it. You need that village. Me and my wife got 4 kids at the house, but we need all kinds of help. Because
You need some coaching?
listen, I do. Send them over. But yeah, we need all kinds of help as parents to raising productive, caring, moral citizens in our city. And what you all are bringing to the table is making that possible. The law of vision says that if you can't see it, you can't have it because you don't even know it exists, right? And I think the exposure that you are providing for these young people, that's transformational, right? Now they know what a district attorney is.
Yes.
If they had saw that man at Walmart, he just would have been a cool dude in a suit somewhere, right?
Or they don't need to see him in court the first time.
Yeah, that part. That part. So I just thank you for the work that y'all are doing, looking at the, you know, results, and just the trend that has been set. Pretty much what I'm seeing is these kids are like, look, I can meet the standard.
Yes, sir.
You set the bar, I can meet that. But I just need to know that you care. I just need to know that, you know, when I go to school, like there's going to be somebody there that's waiting for me to be able to talk to that actually cares about what I have to say and wants to listen to me.
Yes.
And so one question that I did have.
Yes, sir.
One question that I did have, and I know that you didn't do a presentation about the CG Family Common Ground, but I'm curious about that aspect of the universe, the family portion, and
I
what that
mentioned
looks
earlier
like.
we're having on March 11th, the parenting component.
That's when that
That's
starts,
that
March
component.
11th.
That's what that is.
Okay.
We know that ultimately success down the road, particularly for these younger kids, involves us getting their parent, guardian, or somebody in their relative group involved so that we can talk from the same sheet of music.
Yes.
A lot of times what happens with kids, we think, is that they get mixed messages. We tell them one thing at school, they learn something different at home, and we need to balance it out. And sometimes the people at home aren't telling them wrong because they're trying to tell them wrong. They may not know.
That's all they know.
And so we've got a team of coaches who are here today who are going to lead that parenting component and just deal with the parents. And we think that is going to be a game changer. It's going to help us.
Yeah, that's going to be real awesome. Again, like I said, even myself, you know, I need help sometimes as a parent. Obviously, we all know you don't do everything right as a parent. You know, you make mistakes. And so just being able to have somebody to walk hand in hand alongside you to assist you in that is extremely helpful. So, again, thank you for the work that you all are doing.
Thank you, Counselor. I'm a believer that all parents probably need to go through a parenting class at some point.
And man, listen, sign me up. Seriously. All right, that's all I got, man.
Thank you, Counselor.
All right, again, Judge, we echo you guys. And I just want to make one other point, Judge. I had an opportunity to go to Newark, New Jersey, and we visit the Office of Violence Prevention and Trauma Center and saw how they, you know, how Mayor Ross Baracus was able to reduce gun violence, and that's building out their ecosystem. So one of the places that we had an opportunity to go to was the Hub, and when I saw the studio stuff, it reminded me of the Hub. The Hub was a place where young people, you know, came and they wrapped their arms around them, you know, outside of, you know, school. And so they worked with those that were like high risk. And one of the things that really impressed me was these kids were influencers in a negative way.
Yes.
And so they showed them how you can turn that negative influence, because you consider to be what they call a social media influencer or influencer. And so what they did, they were able to extract that bad behavior, and they were influencers in a positive way. So they were influencers, but in a positive way. And so this is the thing that, like you said, you're seeing these kids, change. So, one of the things we said, was talking to one of the guys, he was on an ankle monitor, and they was working with him to get off, and, he was what they call a youth violent interrupter. And so he was like, it's just been a joy that I could, all the wrong I was doing to destroy community, now I got thousands of followers following me to do what's right. And they had a podcast room in there. It just really brought confirmation to what I was really, visualizing for what I wanted to see in my community centers.
Well, I will tell you, to Councilor Moore's point about the studio at Hudson, the one at Bush Hills, I believe, was provided because of Ed Farm. They collaborated with them to create that. And I only say that not to put pressure on Ed Farm, but to say that there are a number of businesses in our community who I believe would collaborate with the schools to help provide opportunities like this in school. And so they're out there. And as a matter of fact, just standing up here making this presentation, one of the gentlemen who was in here before we came up here to talk with one of the businesses stood in here and said he liked what he saw. He got the contact information for our team and said he wants to support the program.
Absolutely.
And so simply telling the story sometimes allows collaboration to happen.
And Judge, we have the Opportunity Center over there with Mr. Darrell Jeff Jones, who has placed a studio inside of the Opportunity Center.
Yes.
So that's a partner, and, he has a theater over there. So it's just a lot of moving parts that we could, continue to work collaboratively together and make it happen. But again, thank Mr. Garfield, thank Dr. Clark, Bishop Moore, and any other. I see Pastor Mann out there.
We got a lot of senior pastors that work with us, and a lot of them in the room right now. That tells
And
you
I know Dr. Clark has been at this a long time, Peacemakers, and so all of these programs,
Dr. Winston here as well.
coming together.
Yes.
So anybody
lot
I
of
miss, clergy that I'm not familiar with, my hat's off to you guys, and parents, all the coaches that are out here giving up your time, because you could be doing something else, but you've chosen to, deliver your time to make sure that we do not continue to let our young people be the pipeline to the prison system. So the devil is a liar. We're going to stop that, collectively working together. So, Judge, once again, kudos to you and your team, and Quinta, Miranda, all of you guys. And we're so, we hear you. We heard the message.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for indulging us, and anytime you invite us, we'll be back.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, and one of the things that we found has helped the kids a lot is swag. So we got swag that we give them. We got some for you. We think Common Ground is a little bit too adult for them. And so the team came up with a slogan called Be the Peace. And it simply stands for Be the Peace You Want to See. And so it's all on all of our swag. And we got some T-shirts and some bags and other things for all the staff members, so you can sport it and be the peace as well.
Be the peace. And
Be the
just one
peace.
final thing, I'm going to put this out there to all of your coaches. I'm getting ready for y'all know I did the sneaker soiree, Let's Talk Peace, Safety, and Healing with Council Tate. We're going to do a little twist. So we want to see all these young people that are involved in Common Ground that are not in the program, those that are desiring to get in there. We're going to let them lead a discussion with the grown folks. Because I think a lot of times we're not listening. And so I think when you listen to those that are affected by, they know what they need. Those are closest to the problem, the solution solvers, but furthest from the resources. So we're going to do a little twist. And so my team and I had a discussion about that. We're going to be working on that. And we want to see your kids chopping it up with us. I'm like the judge. We're going to be dancing and flexing. We may have Cupid Shuffle there.
Oh.
And so, one thing that I am working on is Levante Bentley, who plays for Coach Prime, is my niece's brother. He's a product of J.O. And so we're looking to bring him in, to talk to the young people as well. I know that he came back and he had some conversation with Isaac Cooper, that's doing financial literacy. So we're gonna be tapping, you know, some people that have made it out, that could have been swallowed up, and that are doing some great things. So once again, my hat's off to you. God bless all of you, you know, for giving up your time and your commitment, you know, to do this, because it's gonna take all of us. And so anything that I can do, and I'm gonna speak on the behalf of my colleagues, we are email away. The judge has my phone number. He knows my brother very well. They went to UA Bama, okay? Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. So thank you again, Judge, and to your team. Thank you all for the commitment that you all are doing.
Thank you, Counselor. They're gonna bring you the gifts, that we give the kids. They like it.
We're going. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, Councilor Moore, old and new business. So we have Zydeco here. We requested that they come back and give us an update on their safety plan. So with the representatives from Zydeco.
Good afternoon, how are y'all?
Okay, give us one second. Sharice. Give us 1 second.
And Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
just wanted to kind of make this announcement. As everybody is leaving, we're still conducting business. So if y'all could do it in an efficient and quiet manner, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
All righty. Now that everybody's cleared out, can you guys state your name and address for the record, please? I know you all are back here to give us an update on public safety plan.
It's Mike Douglas with Lee Douglas and Moreno here on behalf as attorney for Zydeco.
Joseph DeLuca, General Manager, Zydeco, 2001 15th Avenue South.
Okay. All right, you guys, I know when we talked to you all, one of the things that we did was to allow you guys to come back and present us with an updated safety plan. So if you will kind of go into some discussion with us about that. And Detective Fikes, has there been any new service calls to the area?
Madam Chair, no ma'am.
Okay, all right. Taxes and revenue, they good with tax and revenue? Ms. Brown?
We haven't checked on it, but we'll check into it, and if we need to do anything, we'll get in touch with them.
All right, Ms. Brown is gonna check that, you know, and let you guys know, but you can proceed with your update.
And real quick, I'm gonna let JJ sort of take the lead on this meeting because it's more so, you know, what they've actually done in response, but a couple things that were recommended, and I believe, Councilwoman, you recommended that he, you know, get more involved in the neighborhood meetings, and so he has done that. He attended a neighborhood meeting and spoke with them, provided them his personal cell phone, said day or night, you can call me. And also, in keeping with some Birmingham regulations and guidelines that safety plans they already had in place, he's updated those and now has packets for whoever would like one, kind of showing, you get to keep one. Okay. So I think we have 5 of these. And I'll just let him take it from here, sort of what's been done, what they've always had implemented, but then also now.
Yeah, you can just give us a snippet and we'll make sure that the other counselors get this. And so good to hear that you guys are, you know, attending, you know, the neighborhood meeting. If the owner can come in, you know, here and there, you know, show up, that would be great. Because a lot of times people, you know, people are buying these establishments and they hire locals, you know, to run it. And so when problems occur, then we got to try to find the owner who owns it. And we just, you know, we want to get ahead of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was actually surprised to find out, apparently the board, the president and vice president are all within the past few months newly elected. And one of my new employees is actually the vice president. So it's great to have that connection. I attended the meeting. I stayed afterwards. I spoke with the police officer representative, Officer Howard, for a lengthy amount in regards to anything that's been brought up about Zydeco. Also spoke with Will Jones briefly. He was having to deal with something else, but I spoke with the Vice President Kurt for a lengthy amount of time, and I also spoke with Councilwoman Smitherman's representative as well, just in regards to, making my face known, giving everyone my information, letting them know that I'm here to work with them, explaining to them I can't fix what I don't know is wrong, and I'm here to help work on things with the community. I learned a lot sitting in the meeting about things that are going on and concerns. I did not have the opportunity to interject myself into the meeting with the way it directed that evening. So I kind of did all of my talking at the end. However, from what I was gathering from everyone is that Zydeco does come up periodically, that their feelings on Zydeco are that a lot of the complaints are not necessarily unwarranted, but out of our control. From what I gathered is a lot of the complaints were about people who speed up and down 15th Avenue South, going from the block we're on up through the neighborhood and area, and they had asked for speed bumps, which are not going to happen. And, different things like that I can't control because I can't police that area. I put this together for you in addition. This is our security plan we keep on file. In addition to it, it has the detailed layout of how we keep security and things like that. It has amendments that have been made to it over the years when we've added the ID scanners to do that type of stuff, changing over our records, just little things like that. I also have our security training manual. This is the manual that we go by that kind of shows them the things to look for, how to handle every situation, so forth and so on. And the final thing that was brought up at the last time that I would like to cover is it was Councilman Williams was asking me about an incident and some cameras, and it caught me off guard because I had no idea. After the meeting, I was able to get copies of the case reports and go back and research them. I have information on all of those. And that specific one, I felt like I looked bad on that because I didn't have an answer. In that instance, in the report itself, it says by the written report that they attempted to come to Zydeco, but it was at 8-something in the morning and no one was there. Not that I denied them. Once I read into it, it reminded me, I actually spoke with the detective on that. I reviewed videotape with him, and what he was actually looking for was the video surveillance for the parking deck where the incident happened. And I walked over and I got the information for him while I was on the telephone with him, relayed the information, gave him my cell phone number, and I told him I'd be glad to assist with anything. And I never heard anything else back because I'm assuming they got what they needed from that business. So I did just want to clarify that. Finally, I'm here to be part of the community. We've been here for 35 years. We do everything that I feel is in our power within those walls to create a safe environment. I am open to the neighborhood community. I'm open to you guys. If anyone has any suggestions that we can feasibly do, I want to be a part of that. I want to be the safe zone for people to come out and enjoy themselves. That's what my goal has always been. There have been unfortunate circumstances that have happened. We're not going to pretend like there hasn't. But, we are working and we are trying to create a safe environment inside of our four walls, to create a safe environment as far out from that radius of our building as possible for everyone. And, we're here to take criticism and, go and make the right decisions and try to, create that public safety that you look for. So.
Thank you. Councilor Moore, you got questions for Mr. DeLuca?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I think you guys have presented some, good information here. We'll just, continue to monitor and, as you said, work together. Like you said, you showing up, at the neighborhood meetings. And one way to get, you have to call the president to get on the agenda.
Yes.
So that's probably why they did, like you said, you end up talking at the end, but going forward, you know, call. you
So
know,
I can just call him and be put on
Call
the
the
agenda to
president.
speak?
Meetings are every month. I'm not sure when those
It's
meetings.
Tuesdays.
Yeah, you can call Council Smith, Mr. Chief of Staff, to find out what, you know the days the meetings, but you have to call the neighborhood president to get on their agenda.
Okay.
And
I
so
didn't know that.
it'll
Thank you.
probably be wise, like you said, you know, continue to go and give them updates and, you know, show up, and then the owner, you know, coming in here and there, showing his or her face, you know, would be good.
Like you said last time, I don't want to just show up when I need something, so.
That's important. All right, well, we thank you all for this update, and Ms. Brown will be in touch with you guys, you know, when, as far as taxes and revenues are concerned. And, thank you for this update.
Thank you all.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you. All right. There's nothing else? We entertain a motion.
I'll move for adjournment.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.